Welcome once again. I am Beth McShinsky representing River Valley Community College as an enrollment specialist. Today we are here talking about early childhood education from a River Valley program perspective and also just from a general Upper Valley perspective. I am here with Carrie Belknap-Morris. She is our program director for early childhood education in addition to being a department chair at River Valley Community College for other programs as well. We also have two current students with us. We have Sandy Daigle and Katie Tremblay, who are going to speak to their River Valley experiences and early childhood education in general. So first off, it's often referred to as ECE, so early childhood education. Carrie, if you could give us a short background on what that means, what are the age ranges, and anything you'd like to say about early childhood education, and then what River Valley's program has to offer and how it addresses the need for that in our area.
Absolutely. Thank you, Beth. Early childhood education, often when people hear that, they think preschoolers. And I'm sure Katie and Sandy can attest that preschoolers get their fair share of airtime in our curriculum, but we work really hard to address the full early childhood spectrum, birth through age 8. So our program, we're talking about infants and toddlers, preschoolers, and young school-age children. And our program is about early care and education, and we're really committed to helping our students understand how those two things blend together in a seamless way to support young children and also their families. Our program, we have a couple of different options for students. We have some certificates, different levels that roll over very easily into our associate degree, and we also are launching a brand new certificate, which we're especially excited about, our infant and toddler certificate. That program will focus specifically on birth to age 3. Our students are out there doing lots of different things with young children and their families. There are a lot of opportunities in the field for promotion, professional development, and then of course even transfer to four-year universities and colleges.
Awesome. And I know Sandy and Katie, you had some specific topics that you wanted to speak about, but I did have a general question for you both to begin with, sort of on the fly. Sorry to surprise you with that, but if you were encountering someone who was considering pursuing the field of early childhood education and potentially coming into a program at River Valley, what would be your sage advice? So maybe Sandy, if you want to start.
Well, I would definitely go with Carrie because she's absolutely wonderful. My first experience was my spring course this year, and she's just very supportive, and if you were headed in the wrong direction, she'd just kind of redirect you. So I feel that the program is a wonderful one, and it would be the way to get started. And no matter whether you go with a certificate or a degree, I feel it's a great program.
Awesome. And how long have you been in the program? This was your first semester?
Yes.
Great.
This
so
my first class. I'm signed up for my second one in the fall.
Awesome.
So.
Very cool. And Katie, same question.
I think that I would probably do the same. I've given out Carrie's email address many times. It's a great place to start. They have several teachers and advisors who are great for advice. And I think once you get in, usually it's the general requirement that gets you in the door, but once you get in, you can see all the different directions that you can go that you might not have thought of prior. And I know there's been more than one time when I wasn't sure which way to go, and through advice I was led in one direction or another. So it is a great program, and I'm excited about there being options for continuing on after also.
Awesome. Thank you for that, ladies. Sandy, being that you just started college at River Valley Community College, what class did you take, and how would you describe your initial experience with that in River Valley?
It was the curriculum class that I took. I'd been struggling with ideas on curriculum in general, and it was one that was available, so I checked with Carrie to see if I could kind of jump ahead and go with that course, because there are others that I needed to also take that are to break the ground, get you started. And she said, yeah, with all your years of experience, she says, I feel you can do the curriculum with no problem. And I had a great experience with it. It was a lot of fun. So
And you came in having already been working in the field for many years. So.
Yes, I've been in the field for over 25 years.
Wow. Wow.
So.
And you're still feeling like this is adding to your
It is.
knowledge base. That's
It
great.
is, definitely.
Great.
So.
And I think Sandy is just a great example that in early childhood, we're committed to ongoing learning, ongoing professional development, and there's always something new to discover or to revisit, and we're continuing to learn so many new things about young children and how they grow and learn and what a best practice really is. So it was great to have Sandy jump in and have all this experience to share with others, but at the same time to see her aha moments of, oh, I hadn't heard that before, or, ooh, here's another way to do this, and this is why and how it could benefit the children in my classroom.
Awesome. Very cool. Thank you, Sandy. And Katie, you wanted to speak a little bit on child advocacy.
Yeah, it's definitely been something I've really enjoyed studying in all my different classes. And there's so many different angles to go at from child advocacy. I think my preference is definitely getting to individualize how you care for the kids based on meeting the families and getting to know them. There's so many different challenges that families now face as the world grows and changes, and you know, a lot of families are less connected to each other and they have less support. So there's a lot of different ways we can provide support through connections to other people, resources, events. You know, sometimes just sitting down and talking to the families about how their lives are going is enough to connect them. And I think sometimes people come in expecting a service, but you can really provide something more than that by getting to know them. And then as you get to know the kids and how their lives are, you can really form, you know, a partnership with the family, which takes your job to another level. And I think a lot of times you go into the field thinking, I really like working with kids. Kids are great. But as you're learning about all the different things you're doing for a child through your activities and your education, you become, you know, more of a teacher and less of a babysitter, which is a really wonderful thing to experience, and it's really great for the kids. So advocacy definitely gives you a chance to explore that in many different ways. In the latest class, one of the latest classes I took was the way media affects current families. So that is a whole nother, I feel like you could have a whole entire, you know, many classes on just that subject alone. So that has definitely been something that I've enjoyed learning about and trying to implement in the classroom with people I work with.
Excellent. And you're currently working in the field as well?
Yes. Yep.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, thank you, ladies, very much for joining us today, speaking about River Valley's Early Childhood Education Program. Did anybody have any sum-up thoughts that are just burning on their mind about either the program or your experience in early childhood education in general?
I think at first I was going to go for a degree, but then with the new certificate that's being offered, the infant and toddler one, that actually is what I'm going to go for.
Excellent. And Carrie, was that developed based on an industry need?
Absolutely. Quality infant and toddler slots, there is a shortage in our state, our region, nationwide. As a community college, we're committed to supporting the work of Child Development Bureau and our Child Care Licensing Bureau, and they've identified that we need additional coursework that specializes on infants and toddlers. We need teachers to truly understand what that 0 to 3 age range needs, what their families need. So our advisory committee supported that and helped us, and again, we will be launching that this fall.
Excellent. That's very exciting. So once again, here with River Valley Community College, I'm Beth McShinsky. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today. We have another panel coming up in just a little bit with some River Valley alumni and a board committee member. So stay tuned. If you have any questions about the Early Childhood Education Program at River Valley, you can find more information on the web at www.rivervalley.edu. Thank you for listening.
Annie McClure, the social media recruiter for River Valley Community College. I'm here today with Carrie Belnick-Morris, and we'll be discussing early childhood education. Could we go around and introduce ourselves? So we're starting over here.
I'm Kimberly Moulton, and I'm on the advisory board committee.
I'm Danielle Burrows, a current student at River Valley.
I'm Carrie Belknap-Morris. I direct the Early Childhood Education Program.
I'm Rebecca Mattson. I'm an alumni of the Early Childhood Education Program and a preschool teacher.
Awesome, thank you all very much. Can you talk a little bit more about being on the advisory board and the impact that you have with River Valley and separately as well?
Right now, when I have new employees come in, I actually encourage them to come to River Valley to sign up for the early education program. And so I kind of give them a little insight of what the classes are like and how the teachers are, and I kind of boost it so that they feel that, the excitement of going to that class. And so they sign up either in that fall or that spring. And then being on the advisory board, I'm actually fortunate to see the courses that Carrie comes up with or has designed in the beginning stages. And then I get the excitement when she sends out an email saying that it was approved. So I've got to see about 4 maybe programs that she started. And a lot of the students enjoy them very much.
And after the students take those programs and they enter the workforce, you can see how those courses are really making an impact in children's lives.
I do, because you can see how when the students come to work, they have tried to implement something that they've learned, and they're very excited about it. And then if they have questions, they usually come to me or someone else has been through the program or in the program and ask, how, what do I need to do, or what does this mean? And so that's the fun part, because we're still being used and still using that knowledge that we learned.
It sounds incredibly rewarding.
It's a lot of fun.
As someone who just is joining the program, how does hearing that make you feel? Do you feel like you made a good choice jumping into the program?
I feel like I made a fantastic choice jumping into it. I think, as Kim said, when we go to the class and we learn something, we're excited to come back and implement it and work with our peers and figure out what's going to work in the classroom, what's not going to work in the classroom, trying to individualize things as well. And just, working in the field that you're studying, you learn so much more than just going to school and then trying to implement everything. I think it's a nice flow.
That's incredible. Do you share those feelings, Rebecca?
Yeah, definitely. It's like I remember doing the practicum program class. Hi. Should I cut that? Anyway, doing the practicum class, actually getting to apply everything that I learned, in the program to an actual setting with preschoolers and infant toddlers. That was amazing. Like now in my at my job as a preschool teacher, there are things I learned that I thought, why am I acquiring this knowledge? I'm not going to use it, and I have.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I've had to advise other teachers on things, and yeah, you end up using so much more than you think you would. Thank you.
And I think that's one thing that our program really tries to keep in mind, that we have some students who are already working in the field. We have other students that this might be something new they want to explore. And we really try to think about how do we meet the needs of both students, and how do we help these students to share, because someone like Danielle, who's already employed in the field, she's going to have a different take per se on a certain topic we're learning about or exploring. But at the same time, she's still going to learn from someone who's entering the field, because they might have this fresh perspective and they might be asking different kinds of questions. And then, of course, I've been at the college long enough now so that I think one of the best things about my job is when I do go out to visit students at practicum sites, often their supervising teachers are someone like Kim, a graduate of the program. And so it's just neat when I go out and I see these students and they're working with children and they're supporting the children's families. And then the person who's supporting them is someone that I worked with. And I remember what it was like, and now to see them in that mentoring role, it's just nice to see how it comes full circle.
That does sound incredible. You can really see the impact of your work in the community. And you mentioned that before, the stacking of degrees. The programs are set up so you can take a certificate and build upon that. Could you speak to that a bit?
Absolutely. We love our associate degree program. It's a really important program, obviously, but students have different goals, and sometimes students aren't sure where they want to start. And so the certificates do provide that. As you said, it's stackable. Our level 1 certificate, it's 4 classes, 12 credits, but it's a great way to get a sense of what is the field about. If you aren't already employed in the field, it's enough to, get your foot in the door per se. And then everything in the level 1 certificate can roll over per se right into the level 2. If you do the level 1 certificate, you're already halfway done with the level 2 certificate. And so then you just keep going and do 4 more courses, celebrate that milestone. And then when you do want to continue on for that associate degree, all of that, I have a chunk of that degree done. I'm celebrating that point and I'm moving forward.
That's incredible. I've always been a big fan of little goals to achieve, and it sounds like exactly what you can do within that program.
Thank you, Amy, so much for this opportunity, and I definitely want to thank Rebecca and Danielle and Kim for coming in. We're just really excited about what's happening in our field, in our profession. If you're watching this and you're curious about early childhood education, if you want to learn more about young children, if you want to make a difference in your community, we know healthy families are the cornerstone of a healthy community, then please check us out. Visit the website, www.rivervalley.edu. Early childhood courses are offered at the main campus in Claremont, at our academic centers, Lebanon or Keene. We also have courses running as hybrids and some early childhood courses running 100% online.